Hey everybody, it is Professor Hatch. I am talking about the discourse community essay in this video, which will be short-ish, mostly so that you'll have more time to watch the outline video. The outline videos are always a little longer. Um, Here, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so I'm just going to read this prompt. Identify and analyze one of your discourse communities. How do they work? Um, as discussed in class, a discourse community is a group of people with a shared form of communication, including language and terms specific to that group. Members of these groups have specialized knowledge about whatever it is that brings them to that group in the first place, whether it's gaming, politics, work, family, church, whatever. Understanding how discourse communities work can help us understand. I have to actually move something. I apologize. Can help us recognize how language shapes identity, power, and belonging, all of which are very important things, I would say. Um, with that in mind, you're being asked to write an essay of no less than 1,000 words in which you analyze a specific discourse community that you belong to, whether it's a student organization, athletic organization, an academic major, hobby or social group, online or in person. Um, I belong to several discourse communities that are just a bunch of gaming nerds hanging out on Discourse. None of us, or very few of us, have ever actually met in real life. Um, and what was my point? What are the community's shared goals? Um, how do they communicate within that group? How do members share knowledge and or discuss common interests of the community? These are all things that discourse communities do. So those are some things to think about while you are analyzing whichever group you choose to write about that you belong to. Evaluate how joining this discourse community has shaped your identity, your communication skills, or your understanding of the specialized knowledge of the community you joined. Um, Reflect on the role of discourse communities in society. How do these communities facilitate inclusion or exclusion? So there are plenty of discourse communities where we don't want anyone else involved. Um, I mean, obvious politics is an obvious choice. If you are in a Republican discourse community or a Democrat discourse community or a socialist discourse community, then you don't want members of the other parties, especially if they have opposing viewpoints. You don't want them hanging out with you because it's gonna it's gonna harsh your mellow. That makes me sound old. So yeah, how do these communities facilitate inclusion or exclusion, and why is understanding them important? All of these are questions that you should do your best to answer in the course of writing your essay. So here under procedure, first thing you're going to need to do is decide which discourse community you want to write about. You belong to several. I think we discussed this in class, but for the purposes of this video, and for anyone who wasn't in class, I'll use myself as an example. I, I'm so many things. I'm a middle-aged white guy. I'm bald. I'm an educator. I'm a professor at RCC. I'm a professor at Cal State San Bernardino. Both of those are discourse communities I belong to. 2-year schools and 4-year schools have different sets of concerns from one another, in addition to the concerns they have in common in regard to educating students. I'm a comic book nerd, a video game player. I'm a movie fanatic, kind of a movie fanatic. I'm a Marvel movie fanatic, and I'm a big fan of movies and television, at least the ones that don't suck. These are all various discourse communities I belong to. Um, so, which one of those would I choose to write about? And I don't know. Probably, honestly, I would choose to write about the gaming community just because that would be more interesting to me than talking about work. In any case, that's the first step. So decide which community you belong to that you want to write about. And second, you need to read at least 2 of these articles. Everyone is going to have to read Understanding Discourse Communities by Dan Meltzer. I have not assigned that, at least not yet, for discussion in class. That may change, and that might change in future semesters if you're watching this then. How to Tame a Wild Tongue by Gloria Anzaldúa is a great example of discourse communities. Anarchy in the 10th Grade is another one. You do not have to read both of those. You can choose to read one or the other. And we'll talk about why in just a moment. And then once you've read those two articles, whichever two you're choosing to read, the actual writing part is going to be done in four main steps, which are all going to be their own assignments. And those assignments are going to be the outline, the rough draft, the peer review, and the final draft. The outline and the rough draft really should be written as fast as possible. Um, they are supposed to suck. The rough drafts, if you Google the term shitty rough draft, you'll find various people talking about why it's important to get the rough draft written fast uh, and not worry about perfection on that first pass. And especially when you're talking about the outline, just knock it out as fast as possible. You're going to want to find your quotes, and then you're going to want to fill in the parts of the outline that I ask you to fill out as fast as possible. And then, the peer review, you're going to be leaving each other feedback. And the final draft, obviously, you're going to go through and revise your rough draft and make it all pretty and then submit it. So, and each of those assignments will have more detailed instructions. As you are working on this essay, two things. One, if you are someone who struggles with formatting, specifically MLA formatting, there is a light is starting to die. There's an English 1A student essay template right here that you can use. You can click on it and download it. We'll see if it actually loads within a reasonable amount of time. Yeah, nope. So anyway, it's there though, and you can download it. And then this video, of course, is going to be right here. I want to show you the requirements part. You'll notice that there's a lot of links throughout this essay prompt. Please click on them. Um, so the first requirement is 1,000 words minimum plus a works cited page. If you click on this link for works cited, it'll take you to a page I've written with another video in this same room with the same boxes behind me. That is sad. That was written a while back. Anyway, yeah, so this is just a quick video to show you uh, how to make a flawlessly formatted works cited page. A lot of people have trouble with that one. So if you're one of those people, watch this video. I don't know how long. Let's find out how long it is. It's 5 minutes. Yeah, spend the 5 minutes. Anyway, um, going back over here, one of your sources, there have to be no less than three sources. One of them has to be Understanding Discourse Communities by Meltzer. Your second one needs to be either the Anzaldúa one or the Graffin one. And then your third source needs to come from a reliable journalism source, meaning basically Google research. But if you click on this link here, reliable journalism, you will see there's this whole graphic here of various publications. You'll see all the stuff in gray is unusable crap. Um, the stuff in the yellow is stuff that is like hyper partisan, whether it's liberal or conservative. You want to be careful there. It could be crap. And then the stuff in the middle is all pretty reliable stuff. And if you have questions about whether or not a source you're looking at is reliable, you can always like text me a link to it on Remind and I'll let you know what I think. So yeah, reliable journalism sources. That's going to be your third source. You can use more sources, though I don't know why you would. This is only 1,000-word essay. You really don't. You really only need the three sources. This essay must include specific examples from your chosen discourse community. Obviously, if you're writing about a community you belong to, you need to be describing it to the reader, which is both me and your fellow students. And then, the standard college level grammar, spelling, punctuation, blah, blah, blah. If that's something that you are not great at, then use spell check, use Grammarly. Don't use Grammarly's AI function to have it write stuff for you. That's crap. That's as crappy as using Chat GPT to have an essay written for you. Also, I just want to say real quick, Chat GPT is awesome. I use it all the time, but historically, we'll see if it's getting better. I don't know, but historically, students who use ChatGPT to write an essay, their essays usually get low C's or high D's, because ChatGPT knows jack shit about good essay structure. Pardon my language, although you should probably be used to that by now. In any case, also MLA formatting. If you're not, again, if you're not good with formatting, use the essay template. But if you have questions, go to the Purdue OWL website, which is linked to there for your convenience. And finally, regardless of what program you're writing this in, you're going to want to export it to either a docx or a PDF format. That's pretty much everything. No block quotes, please. The 1,000-word essay is way too short for that kind of nonsense. And I think that's everything I need to say. Excuse me. That's everything I need to say about the discourse community essay, at least the broad strokes of it. I'm going to make one video specifically for the outline assignment in which I will talk about how I would approach the outline and organizing the essay if I were tasked with writing it. Yeah, that's everything. All right. Bye.